Hi, I'm Rick Schutte, the broker-owner with Coldwell Banker Cucci Real Estate. And today, again, I'm here with Rick Bunzel, the owner, Chief Inspector for Pacific Crest Inspections out of Anacortes. Rick's been doing a great job with us, helping give tips to you as owners and buyers and sellers. And today, Rick, you know, all of us are energy conscious and we like to save money. So can you give us some hits on maybe saving some money in our energy?
Sure. Well, going green is one of a catchphrase for a lot of industries today, and it doesn't necessarily have to be super expensive to go green.
Right.
There are things that you can do to your house today to make it more energy efficient and potentially lower your costs. So one of the easiest ones is to look at the temperature of your hot water heater and look at the temperature that's coming out of that. If there are just two of you at home, like right now, my wife and I are empty nesters, we're able to set our hot water heat down to about 120 degrees without sacrificing any comfort when we're showering.
Is that for electric heaters, gas heaters, all of them?
All
is
of
it just
them.
a thermostat?
Well, gas heaters are absolutely easier. Electric ones, you actually have to remove a panel.
I see.
And you want to be careful on that because when you remove that panel, you're exposing some high energy wires in there. So it's something where you want to turn the power off. If you're not sure, you can either consult the internet or have a plumber do it for you. Gas hot water heaters are much easier. The dial is right on the base of that hot water heater. And to take a simple cooking thermometer and put it in a cup and run the hot water, and you can establish what the correct temperature is.
Okay.
And that's something easy to do. And we're actually the only country in the world that still has 50-gallon hot water tanks in our houses. So by reducing that a few degrees can make a difference in your bill. The next one is if you don't have a programmable thermostat in your house, and many houses I see don't. It's a wise thing to buy a programmable thermostat and have it installed. Many homeowners can do it themselves. If not, an electrician can do it. And then figuring out a schedule for yourself and programming that thermostat to turn the temperature down at night. And in most houses, you can actually set the temperature down to as low as 55 degrees, because when people are sleeping, you don't necessarily need to be running the furnace. And then
or when they're not even home sometimes.
During the day, once again, turning that back depending on your schedules, and getting it to a level where you're not running the heater excessively when it's not needed in the house. And that's something that's, once again, it's easy to do, and you don't actually need to reduce comfort in the house, because you can turn the furnace on when you're watching TV, when you're home having dinner, and in the morning when you're getting ready for school or going to work. Another simple tip is changing your furnace filter. To make your furnace as efficient as possible, you want to change that filter as frequent as every 90 days. If you're running a filter that's hypoallergenic, that means it's actually filtering out smaller particulates. You want to actually change that as frequently as once a month. Another big one I see all the time is having your ductwork checked. The ducts are how the furnace supplies heat to the individual outlets. And in many cases, those ducts are leaking, and it's leaking either into the crawl space or the attic.
So you're heating under your house.
You're heating areas you don't actually use. So that's a way that when you have your furnace checked and tuned up, which is another tip, to ask the furnace guy to check the ducts to see to make sure they're sealed adequately.
How do you have your ducts all in a row?
Have your ducts all lined up. And last but not least, if the house was built before 2000, it may be worthwhile to have the insulation in the attic checked to see if an upgrade is going to be useful for you. Houses before 2000 typically had a energy rating of about R30 in the attic. Today the standard is R38 to R44. And to give you an idea, that means that you may have 10 inches of insulation in the attic. Now we're putting 15 to 16 to as much as 20 inches of insulation in the attic. And that can make a big difference in your heating bills. by having that
Because
extra
all that heat
insulation.
just is going out
Yep,
the roof.
it all goes up, very little of it goes down, so if you're gonna invest, you wanna invest in your attic insulation.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, thank you for the tips, and hopefully this helps save you some money. If you have any other questions, I'm sure that Rick would be happy to answer.
Sure.
That's Rick Bunzel with Pacific Crest Inspections out of Anacortes, Washington. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again.